What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Carlos Samaniego over Tax Debt Consultants. It's been a couple of weeks since I've talked to you guys, and wanted to kind of bring up probably the most often question I always get. And the question is, will the IRS accept less than what I'm actually making? Will the IRS accept less than what I'm actually making? That is the most common correction. Why am I saying that? Will the IRS accept less than what I actually owe them, not what making them? And that is literally the most often question. So people end up having a big tax bill, a large tax bill, and without fail, I'll get a phone call. Will the IRS accept less than what I actually owe? And the answer is it depends. And I kind of want to bring up things that I'm seeing out there that is scary in regards to there's a lot of advertisers out there, a lot of scam artists, a lot of new companies doing a lot of advertising, making it seem like the IRS is just giving this away. They're reducing everybody's tax debt. And the IRS does do that. In fact, the program is specifically called an offer in compromise. That's what the program is called, where the IRS accepts less than what you actually owe them. So one, I'm going to talk about what it is. Two, is it possible for you to qualify for that? I have a 100% success rate with my offer in compromise. Why do I have a 100% success rate? It's because I don't submit an offer that I know does not qualify. And a legitimate person that represents taxpayers and understands how the IRS works, how an offer in compromise works, will make sure that you submit a legitimate offer. Now, does the IRS have the right to deny it? Absolutely. But you want to make sure you're legitimately. I'm going to share a screen with you. This screen right here, what is an offer in compromise? It literally says the offer in compromise is a tool that many taxpayers use to settle federal tax debts. If a person owes money to the Internal Revenue Service but cannot afford to pay the full debt, he or she may offer the IRS a smaller amount as a settlement. That is what is known as an offer in compromise. The offer in compromise can be when you do an offer in compromise with the IRS and they accept it. There's two ways that you can actually pay it all up front, the offer, or you can actually pay it over payments. And there's specific details in regards how you would want to do that. But here's the next thing when it comes down to this. Actually, I got a better screen that's a little bit easier to read here. A lot of times let's go back. A lot of times when you hear people talk about pennies on the dollar, that is what the legitimate name with that is, an offer in compromise. And again, we're talking about an offer in compromise, and I'm just repeating this. It's a tool that the IRS helps you resolve your federal tax debt for a lesser amount. Now, not everybody that submits an offer is eligible to submit an offer. So here's one thing that will disqualify you from submitting an offer in compromise. All your tax returns have to be filed. That is one of the qualifications for the IRS even to consider. So if you haven't filed tax returns in quite some time, if you haven't done that, you need to file the tax returns just to be considered for an offer in compromise. So recently I had somebody that wanted to see if they qualify for an offer in compromise. We looked at their transcripts during my investigation and found out we had 3 years of missing returns. Well, he can't submit an offer to settle that debt because he's never filed the return. So if you don't file the return, the IRS has no idea how much you owe. Kind of makes sense? So this is probably one of the biggest things. I've actually seen people submit an offer in compromise and none of the returns were filed, or most of the returns that needed to be filed weren't even filed. So that's a huge kind of no-no. You want to do that. you can't be in bankruptcy. If you're in current bankruptcy dealing with some past due tax debt, you can't submit an offer in compromise if you're in bankruptcy. That's a big one. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to give you a scenario. This actually just happened to me within the last couple of weeks. I had a client come in. They owed $150,000 of tax debt. Kind of put that in your head. $150,000 roughly of tax debt. They came to me and said, Carlos, would I qualify for an offer in compromise? And I said, literally in a 10-minute conversation, I can pretty much figure out if you currently qualify or you even have the potential to qualify for an offer in compromise. So in this case, this person had $150,000 tax debt. One of the first things I did is do we have all our tax returns filed? Luckily, all the tax returns had been filed. Now, here's another one, and I forgot to put it on my sheet here. Are you currently paying taxes? Your estimated taxes. Are you having taxes taken out of your paycheck? That's a big one. That's a qualifier. You have to be current with your estimated taxes to be able to qualify for an offer in compromise. So one of the things I'm looking for is that you have made your estimated payments if you're self-employed, or you have enough taxes being taken out of your paycheck. So when we do submit this offer, that is taken care of. Because when that offer person at the IRS gets that, it's the first thing that they look at. Are they currently returns filed, and are they paying their estimated taxes? And look at it from this point of view. If the IRS is willing to work on your past due tax debt, why in the world would they want to do an offer with you if next year you file your tax return and you owe more tax debt? Doesn't make sense, right? So with this specific person, I told them you're automatically would have been disqualified because you're not paying estimated taxes. So they owed $150,000, their tax returns were filed, but they haven't made any estimated taxes. They would automatically get disqualified for an offer in compromise. So we have to work on that. But let's just assume that they have been paying their estimated taxes for this year. Let's pretend they're paying their estimated taxes. So you owe $150,000. You're paying your estimated taxes. Next question I asked her, let's take a look at your income and your expenses. Person's monthly expenses were roughly $5,000 a month. Not bad, based on the allowable expenses the IRS gives you. But the other thing we have to figure out here is what's your current income? This person is self-employed, and their average income after profit, after their expenses, was roughly $30,000 a month. They're making $30,000 a month. They have $5,000 of allowable expenses. That leaves $25,000 eligible to pay the IRS. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were getting an extra $25,000 of spendable money, do you think the IRS is going to literally give you an offer to reduce your tax debt? If you think yes or no, just put it in the comments here. I can't see the comments for whatever reason here, but we'll figure this out. Anyways, that's what an offer in compromise is. That person, I specifically told him, no, you don't qualify for an offer in compromise today. We ended up getting this person into an installment agreement. Amran, you're absolutely right. You're not going to qualify. You know, you have $25,000 of extra income and you want to settle for less money than what you actually owe. It's just not going to work. But there are many cases where the IRS does this, and there's a lot of you out there that would qualify. But what do we have to do to make sure? Most important thing is you got to get those tax returns that you don't have filed. That's very important. If you need assistance with that, reach out to our office. My information is on the screen here. Let me take this back off here. The last thing, watch out for scam artists. I mentioned earlier today that there's a ton of people out there, ton of companies popping up, making it seem like everybody qualifies for an offer in compromise. I want to share this next screen with you. You see this screen? It's the IRS government website. It says the IRS Dirty Dozens. Things to watch out for in regards to tax-related scams. And when you scroll down here, one of the big ones is what's called an offer and compromise mill. This is very important for you guys to keep an eye on. See if I can make this screen a little bit bigger for you guys to see. There we go. And here's what it says. There are companies popping up sending out mail, email, even making phone calls to individuals claiming that they qualify for an offer in compromise. They're not doing detailed financial analysis for the client to see if they qualify. And here's what's happening. People are literally being duped, as the IRS says, paying them tens of thousands of dollars to make them believe that they're going to qualify. They take their application, they take their money, they submit this to the IRS. Here's the thing. The other thing with an offer in compromise, IRS is completely backed up because of everything that's been going on in the closures. The IRS is backed up. It might take them a year, year and a half to actually see, to really have your file given to an IRS examiner. By that time, this company has collected tens of thousands of dollars from probably thousands of people, submitted all this dang paperwork, which is backlogging the entire system, and then only for you to find out a year down the road that you got disqualified, that you never qualified in the first place. Then you go back out to that individual, those individuals looking for them, and they're gone. And they're probably set up down the street under a different name. So be careful of that. We don't want you to get duped by that. What you want to do, you want to find a legitimate tax professional, an enrolled agent, CPA or attorney that is that you can speak to, that you can go to their office, that's going to work on your file personally. You want to go to that individual for them to do the correct analysis to see if you actually would qualify for an offer in compromise. You know, here in my office, I'm located in Redlands, California, Southern California, pretty much centralized to all of Southern California. I get people driving in from Los Angeles, San Diego, the high desert. Had somebody from Las Vegas drive in to see me because they wanted to work with a live individual that was going to work their tax, their specific tax situation. I'm not a salesperson. In fact, if you call me and we do a consultation, I do consultations at no cost. I won't sell you anything. I won't ask you for any money on that phone call whatsoever. And you can ask anybody that I work with. I don't do that. I want to see what your tax problem is in it. And if you have a tax problem, one, can I help you? Two, do I have the time to help you? And if I do, I will kind of give you directions on what you need to do to be able to move forward for me to work with you. Anyways, this was supposed to be a 3-minute video, and it ended up being almost 15 minutes. And we're at 13 minutes here. But if you have any questions, always reach out to my office. I encourage everybody that has a tax problem, go to taxdebtbook.com. Go to taxdebtbook.com. Pick up that free book. It's my book, How to Make the IRS an Offer They Can't Refuse. Should have brought that up at the beginning of the thing. You'll get the free electronic version if you go to that link. If you actually come into the office, I give you an actual copy of this book. Anyways, with that, I'll let you guys go. Have a great weekend. It's nice and cool here. 70 degrees. I think we're still at 70 degrees. Amran, I appreciate you being here. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye for now.